There was nothing else at all in the whole world but football.
Hi and welcome to the Triple F for an Arsenal-focused episode of the Triple F Show. Simon W was on the Triple F not so long ago to talk about Patrick Vieira, which gave me the idea and the excuse to dedicate a whole Triple F show to my beloved Gunners. We recorded our conversation this Friday night and talked about the game against Burnley. Simon W gave his nostradamus-esque predictions for the match, and I gave my terrible, over-optimistic wide-of-the-mark prophecy. We also talked about the Stan Kroenke ownership, the very hopeful but not so realistic prospects of KSE selling the club, gave our thoughts on Arteta as a manager, and went through the potential ins and outs of the summer transfer window. Hope you guys enjoy the Triple F Show, Arsenal edition. I mean, this is the first time in ages that I can actually go into a game feeling really confident. I think I was actually quite confident with Burnley the first time round, but what a shit show that was, man.
That game summed up every part of the crap show of being an Arsenal fan. Dominate the game, a nasty little northern team come down, park the bus, don't even try to attack. We can't break them down. You know, the game goes on and on. They get more confident. They start looking around saying, you know, boys, 2 lines of 4, let's do this. And then a set piece, and then it's all over. I'm like, that was the one. I was throwing teacups at that point. That was not good.
That was an absolute smash and grab from them, and it was soul destroying. I don't know if that was worse than the Wolves game, because the Wolves game I think we were all over Burnley, but not as much as we were with Wolves. That first half with Wolves, we absolutely smashed them. The only thing we didn't do was score enough goals. And then,
do you mean the last one, the away one?
The Wolves game when David Luiz got sent off.
Yeah. So the one that was about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
You know, I'm a great believer in. I've got some experience from some of my coaching here. The idea of the penalty and the incident right before halftime. We had a state semi-final up in Denver about 3 years ago, and we're playing a team better than us. We're up 2-0. Minute before halftime, one of our fullbacks just slices their forward in the box penalty, and the coach, my coach and I, we looked at each other like, game over, because they were starting to build in confidence. They had a lot of fans, so the whole 2-1, 2-0 up, 2-1 still up, game over. It was always going to be a thing. Yeah.
But what were your thoughts on that? Because whatever happened to the double jeopardy rule? Because I thought that was sort of brought in. Do you remember the Champions League? I'm sure you remember the Champions League final of Arsenal Barcelona when Lehmann, great times, but Lehmann got sent off.
Yep.
And it was pretty much a revision after that refereeing bodies, they agreed on, let's bring in this sort of double jeopardy rule where, we sort of protect the flow of the game, double punish by giving them a penalty and sending off at the same time. But apparently it was forgot for that last Wolves game, and Luiz got, the penalty and the red card, and it was just, I just didn't understand that. I just thought, whatever happened to that rule? But
I mean, it was a penalty. The piece that always upsets me is the intent part. I mean, he fell over. He fell into him.
It was a clipping of heels, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Surely.
If he meant to do that, then he's got skills that we've never seen from David Luiz.
Yeah.
But if he meant it now, I mean, honestly, and it was a penalty, and it probably was a sending off. And if you take those two incidents separately, yeah, he did the right thing. But no, you're right. The double jeopardy thing, I thought that was a tough way to do it. And then like 2 minutes into the second half, one of their many Portuguese players hit a screamer, and I'm like, that's it, it's over.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can understand the sending off to a point because it could be like the last man. But what I don't understand is, and what gets my goat a lot is, I think it was the day after, it might have been on the same day, but Man United had a match, and Jan Bednarek, who was playing for Southampton.
Yeah, that's right.
There was more or less the same sort of incident, the opposition running in on the goalkeeper, and he was the last man. But Bednarek, there was far more contact with that Bednarek foul than there was with David Luiz, and the Bednarek foul got overturned, and that he was allowed to play the next game. Whereas Luiz, that the red card stood, and he had to miss the following game. And for me, it was just, what on earth was going on there? Where it's those kind of decisions that get you scratching your head. And although I don't want to go sort of full tinfoil hats, it does make you wonder, is there something a bit fishy going on there?
Yeah, and every time the VAR thing appears on the screen, it's always like, oh no, come on. No, I saw it today actually. I think it was from FIFA. It must be from FIFA, but they're making a change to they're trying to scale back the whole unintentional handball in the area. So I think if you think of Ndidi's the penalty on Sunday with Ndidi, the fact that he was jumping and his arms were above his head, I think that would not affect him. But if someone literally has their arms almost next to their body and it hits their elbow and they're just sort of trying to make their own body shape, that I believe after July 1, refs are going to have to not award that. Yeah. And there's also a piece about the arm, like the old idea about, if you think about a sprint race in the Olympics, it's all about the torso. Yeah. And so, the idea that I think it was the Wolves game again, when basically Lacazette's big toe was offside. Yeah. Like, come on, he's not. I mean, yes, all right, the law's written, he's offside, but come on, really? Yes. So the goalkeeper froze because he saw that Lacazette was a third of an inch in front of his defender. Yeah, no. The rules that are in play at the moment, they're just not in favour of the beauty of the game. They're not in favour of the flow of the game, and that's a worrying thing. I think with everything that's going on at the moment in football, these are not even little things. These are big things that are just killing the game. It's all about creating a standard that can be enforced. Because the other side of it is, if you give referees a lot more of a sort of subjective position to take, then you get the idea of bias and how was he feeling that day, and I totally get the other side, but the idea is Lacazette's toe, if that is the rule, no body part, then his toe was offside and the goal shouldn't stand. But I think now it's going to be all about the torso, so an arm. If you're a striker and you're in the middle of running and your arm happens to be in front of you, it's going to go from the torso, not your fingertips, which would be because I don't know where they're sort of drawing that line up from at the moment. It seems to be is it the armpit or the shoulder? It seems like a strange one. I don't get it fully, but I'm not sure the whole line technology. It's far too tedious, and it just doesn't work for me. Yeah, the VAR thing always terrifies me. What are they going to do? What are they going to do now, and how are they going to destroy the sanctity of this game with an unnecessary sending off? Which, as we all know, completely disrupts a game, kills the team. I mean, kills the team with 10 men, and so it basically just confirms a result. What was that? That was 44 minutes in. There was no way I thought we were going to win it, but I thought we might be able to. I think it takes the options of the game, takes it away from being win, lose, or draw, and it just becomes basically draw or defeat. Are you in favour of VAR? Yeah, I am. I think living in a nation that thrives on just about everything being video replayed. The big thing we have here now, though, is that the NBA, the basketball, is now the same. Oh, really? So, coaches can challenge, and the referees come together and look at the screen, and they make a decision. No, I am in favour of it, but I do think that I think we have to be smart about it. But honestly, as soon as it came in, it was never going to be a quick fix. It was never going to be. No one was ever going to be happy about it. Because it's technology, which I've been watching the game for decades, and the purity of play on sir is fine. But now with TV, referees are getting hammered, and they have been for decades. Do you think we're going through teething pains at the moment? I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping that this is a process where the officials are learning. They're hoping to sort of improve on them, and I certainly hope that we can. The question marks I have are that I'm just not entirely sure if these officials are the right ones to take it forward, but I hope. I think it's a 10-year project. I think every year between FIFA, UEFA, and the league, there's going to be a tweaking of it, and I think a lot of people won't be satisfied. But ultimately, you've got decisions that cost teams millions and millions of dollars or pounds. I mean, if you don't win a trophy, if you don't qualify for a Champions League or Europa League, it's money on the table. And I think you're going to find situations where there's potential litigation moving forward. There's potential, I think there's liability on leagues and refereeing associations and on the referees themselves. You just look at the rise of social media and QAnon and all that bollocks. Is that you can imagine that a referee being vilified and threatened if he happened to be the one to make the human decision, which in the moment he thought was right.
Yeah,
the stakes are too high.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, fuck VAR. Let's get away from that. We're here for what.
But it all evens out over a season. Come on, now, don't be like that.
Anyway, we're here for a reason, and that's Arsenal. And I've been, like I said to you earlier off the show, I'm absolutely chomping at the bit to get my teeth
buzzing, mate, buzzing.
Yeah, it's not often that I get to speak solely about Arsenal. Obviously, we had that Patrick Vieira chat, and that was really, really fun for me. So, yeah, it just sort of gave me an excuse of just talking about Arsenal as much as possible. So I'm really, really happy. My first question: so you obviously watched the Leicester game at the weekend? Did you sort of see the or hear of the sort of outcry from the Arsenal fans when they saw the starting lineup?
God, yeah. I mean, I don't often live my life via Robbie Lyle and the AFTV guys, but I did on that day.
Yeah,
and there were, Lee Judges and all. All those boys, they were losing their minds. But you know what? I can see Arteta's point of view. We played away. We played a home game in Greece.
Yeah.
What's that about? In the middle of the week, and Smith Rowe needed a break. Obviously, a little bit hurt. Aubameyang. If that lad is starting to find his form and starting to realize we're in a season now, let's not burden him too much. And apparently, I think Willian must have some photographs of Arteta or something, because there's obviously a little bit of favoritism there. And of course, and in fact, Pepe has been playing well. So, and there was no Partey, so I can see it. Yeah. But I think there's such a fragility of confidence or lack of confidence with the Arsenal fans now. I just think it's like, oh Christ, what's he doing? Like, what is this, a League Cup game? It's also the fact we're going away to Leicester. And Leicester have been legitimate. This isn't the days of them creeping up on the league in 2015, whatever it was, with the Italian manager and nicking the league. They're a legitimate, could be Champions League team. So I can see Arteta's point of view. But yeah, there was definitely some outcry, and I'm glad that it didn't. I'm glad I didn't buy into it.
No, I never do. I never try to, at least. And but for me, it just kind of, and this is with hindsight, it kind of represents that. I think with Arteta, what he's trying to do is really lean on this rotation side of things, and by not just the traditional sense of rotation where you kind of just do it for the sake of it, and then you kind of, when you are rotating, you're almost making the side weaker. I think it's almost like the Guardiola template, where that when you do rotate, you're not essentially making any difference from your first team. There isn't really a first team. You've got your set of great players and another set of great players. And I think that's what Arteta is hopefully, and that's what I think he's trying to build. I really do think he's trying to build that. And I think perhaps that game against Leicester is almost testament to that. And I hope so anyway.
Yeah, and I think the Barcelona Real Madrid model of having 3 players for every spot. In fact, Man City now probably more than them. But honestly, Pepe and Willian, regardless of the money, they are good enough to do what they did.
Yeah.
And, Willian, we've got to start buying these aging Chelsea players. We really do. William Gallas, it really started then. And then selling Giroud. Anyway, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. That pisses me off. That pisses me off more than anything that we've ever done.
Well, even worse than seeing Fabregas in a Chelsea shirt?
Yeah, but he didn't go directly to Chelsea, did he?
No, it's fair enough.
There's a little bit of an emotional buffer with him going back to his home club. But I do think, Pepe and Willian, they've got to be able to do that, and I'm really glad that they were able to, because obviously our starting. Who knows? But against Burnley, I hope the big boys are back. I hope it's Ober up top and it's Saka and probably even Pepe playing left. I hope we do that, and if we're able to bring back Saka and the captain for Burnley, then job well done.
Yeah,
fair enough.
That's a great front three though: Pepe, Aubameyang, and Saka. That the amount of pace that were just. Burnley are slow. They're a very slow team. they might do a bit of a deep block on us, but I think even with that rapid front three and then Odegaard in that number 10 role, that fills me with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Pepe. I mean, the amount we spent on him, as I said last time, was really more to do with Sanley taking a backhander from somebody. There's no way that he was worth that amount of money. I remember when we had the US tour, when they played over here up in Denver, Josh Kroenke was saying everyone should be really excited about what's coming in. And I'm like, he means Pepe. Oh God! But so I think we identified Pepe and paid whatever we had to pay to get him. That aside, I don't blame him for his slow start. But I think, I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter to me as a fan. I'm not paying the bills. But if we can have him playing like he has, Saka is an absolute revelation. I've never seen anything like Saka at our club. If somebody wanted him now, we're looking at 100 million.
Yeah,
he's ridiculous. And then of course, if Aubameyang's got it, but yeah, I mean, the Burnley, if we really have to be bold against Burnley. If we have Thomas back in the midfield with Xhaka, those guys and Odegaard, we've really got to be bold. I mean, I'm so tired of these Emirates games where the little northern teams come and park the bus. 25 minutes in, we have a scare, and then right before half time they score, and then it's what's going to happen.
Yeah,
they'll get 11 men behind the ball. We've got to try. I remember, quite a few times we've had, like back in the day, Nicholas Bentner would show up and score in the last minute, or Sanchez or Ramsey. And I just think that whole script of, wait a minute, it's 40 minutes gone. Shit, here we go. Here we go. And then they get a nasty little set piece. So I really hope we can be bold against Burnley and just really stick it to them. Because I do think this will be 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
Don't know how many times this season, if at all, we've won 3 games in a row. Maybe once.
No, I think we had that run. There was a run of games, after the Chelsea game where we went on a bit of
Chelsea, Brighton, Albion, I think, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that was the only time we went on a run of. I mean, how many did we win at the start of the season? Because we had Fulham, West Ham, and then Sheffield United. That was a run of 3.
Yeah,
and
fair enough.
And then it all fell to shit.
and I did not expect us to beat Leicester. Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
No.
And I think Arteta obviously wanted to rotate, but he obviously said to himself, look, we come back from Greece. We have to go away to a top 3 team. Let's just mail this one in a little bit. And then let's focus on Burnley. Give everybody 10 days, give the big boys 10 days off. Burnley, let's stick it to Burnley. And then we've got 40 points and then we're really rolling.
Yeah. Do you think with the Burnley game, we're starting to see now a bit of an idea that Arteta's trying to form, that we're a bit better at beating this deep block? We're much better at sort of going against these defensive sides, because I think West Brom was a sign of that. Leicester effectively was a sign of that, because I think Leicester, they sat quite deep, but we still managed to pick them apart and break them. And yeah, I'm starting to believe that we're a lot better at beating defensive units.
I mean, honestly, we should be. I mean, we've now got our defensive wall truly with Partey and Xhaka, and if you take Suarez, because I don't think Bellerin's going to play much moving forward unless Tierney keeps getting injured. We take Suarez on the right and Tierney on the left. We've got some dynamic, fast fullbacks, and then if they're going to link with either pick Martinelli, Pepe, Saka. I mean, I think we should be able to blow teams away in terms of quick movement, and I do think Odegaard is a very, very important addition.
Yeah,
I think he's more the polished article as opposed to Emil. I mean, Emil wants to be Odegaard, and he might get there.
Yeah,
but Odegaard has played in so many different systems. He was lights out for Sociedad last season. Yeah. He, to me, has quicker feet and just a half a second faster brain to just find that ball. That the Pepe goal on the weekend when he just moved,
the little flick out,
right, and just moved it. Didn't even
think about it.
Just like when you're coaching kids, you're just saying, like, as the ball's coming to you, you need to look and see what you're going to do with it. The moment you get it, if you have to stop it, if you have to slow the ball down, look up, you're going to get clapped. So he just moved it.
Muscle memory.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think I do. I see what Arteta's trying to do. I think what blows me away is, though, I think we've got very good players. And I'm glad that Arteta has stayed, because you know as well as I do, if a board thinks you've got a good squad and they've spent money and they've invested in you, and the team isn't quite doing it, then the easiest thing to do is to fire you as coach.
Yeah.
If you look at what's happened with Tuchel and Chelsea, they haven't bought anyone, and suddenly they're roaring up the table. So, I do wonder why we're stuttering so much. I don't see a weak link in any part of the field. I really don't. I'm not suggesting we all play well together, but I think that we've invested to the point where we've got a pretty darn good set of centre backs. Our fullbacks are fast and aggressive and decent. Our midfield is strong, and our front players are quick and athletic. I'm having trouble sometimes seeing where we're.
I think for me, the sort of reasons why we faltered so much, I think the fact that we brought Partey in, and it was so obvious that was going to be such a key, vital cog to the Arteta machine. And then when that was essentially out for a big chunk of the season, that, you know, a lot of plans were sort of chopped and changed, and you had to sort of, you know, fill round holes with square pegs, and that just didn't do Arteta any favours. And you know that there are a lot of positions in the pitch as well that just were sort of, at the moment, I think we're obviously still in that transition stage, but I think, you know, to sort of look at those areas more specifically, let's say the right back area with Bellerin, you've got Suarez there, and I completely agree. I think Suarez is a better option, more dynamic going forward, but it's still that right back position with Cedric and Bellerin there's still question marks over both of them, in my opinion. The left back issue, Kieran Tierney, there's absolutely no question marks over my head at all. Over his head at all, and he's a brilliant player, and I'm fucking happy that he's at our club because I think he's fantastic. However, a little bit injury prone, perhaps.
He's got to be on the field. He's got to be available. Yeah. The best part of any player, or the most important part of any player, is being available. And it seems like, and again, I'm a little concerned about Partey as well. Perhaps it's because we brought him back against Spurs too quickly. But yeah, I do. I think Kearney's just world class. I mean, we were lucky to get him. I think the price was right. I think Celtic needed money, but he's the business. And I think, a lot of people have talked about him being a captain moving forward. I mean, let's not upset Aubameyang too much, but I could see him being, you know, that gritty little Scotsman on the edge there. You know, growling and snarling at people. I'm not sure that's him, but having a Scottish captain takes you back to the 80s. Kind of fun, you know.
Yeah.
Too, you know?
but I also think, like, you know, sort of reasons to our wobbles as well was the number 10, that creative player. We just didn't have. Emil Smith Rowe, bless him as well, another one that's sort of prone to injury, was not available, and perhaps I think, you know, with Arteta, obviously we're starting to see that with Martinelli, that he doesn't want to rush people back from big injuries back into the game. And I don't think he deemed Emil Smith Rowe to be completely ready until that point that he was after that, during that Chelsea game and there on afterwards. And then obviously with the addition of Martin Odegaard as well, it's just, you know, that is kind of highlighted that we were missing that kind of player so badly.
Well, that's why we bought Ozil. That's why I jumped out of my chair whenever it was when Ozil was signed. That was a whole turning the page on that one, but that one unfortunate ending to that. But that guy had the ability, but someone told him throughout his career that he didn't have to track back, and he could just sit there and wait for the ball to be
Wenger.
Probably Wenger. But again, I think I mentioned last time is that it really irritates me that because Sanchez was so arrogant and greedy and wanted to leave, he left, and then we couldn't let Ozil go at the same time. So we gave him the kitchen sink. And of the two, I would not have wanted to keep Ozil. I would have wanted Sanchez all day. But yeah, no, I think Arteta got lucky. I think the Chelsea game meant that we needed bodies. And Emil Smith Rowe, was he ready? I don't think Arteta really considered whether he was or was. I think we got to have him. We needed 10. We got nothing. We've got to put someone in there. Why not? He's that kind of kid, though. In a normal year, in fact, he did, you know, would light up the Emirates Cup in August. And then disappear. Like Reece Nelson did that kind of stuff. Like, oh my God, this kid is going to be so good. And then suddenly he's been loaned out again. But I do think as a 20-year-old, it got to the point where it's time. I mean, for his point of view, he's got to play.
Yeah.
And I think he's a lot grittier. He's a lot grittier and tougher than I thought he was going to be. I thought he was going to be quite ethereal. Just the fact that he shows up with his socks rolled down, and he's quite a unit compared to what I thought he was.
Do you think he's out as long as it first appeared?
No, he's going to. I read today he's going to play tomorrow.
Really?
Yep, absolutely. Not a problem. Will be considered for selection. But then again, I'm not worried because Odegaard's there.
Yeah.
And we're not going to have him. Let's be honest. We're not going to have him and beyond this season, Odegaard. So let's just play him. Let's play him and let's let him get better. And then I hope in training he's just learning and soaking it in from Odegaard. I mean, Odegaard's only 23, but he's been around quite a bit longer. So I think in terms of just a mentor coming in, fantastic.
But what's great about that Odegaard signing is the fact that he can play alongside Emil Smith-Rowe as well, because that was the fear. Everybody thought, we're bringing Odegaard. That means we're going to kill Emil Smith-Rowe. He's never going to play again. Nah. I mean, Arteta's, in my opinion, that move shows how much of a genius Arteta is, because it's, it's not what it always looks like it is on paper. And that's brilliant. And I think as well, Odegaard is one of those players that's got so much genius. He could even play in that sort of number 8 role. I think I could even see him sort of sitting a bit deeper and playing alongside Partey or Xhaka. And I think he'd do just as great. He's one of those footballers that's just clever enough to pretty much play anywhere in midfield. If you're interested in coming on the show for an Under the Floodlights special to talk about your favourite player or manager, please email the FFF2021@gmail.com or DM the FFF84 on Twitter. All contact details will be in the episode description. Hope you're all keeping safe, and thanks again for listening to the FFF.
Actually, here's a question for you. I'll ask you one for a change.
Yeah.
So, Danny Ceballos, there are some thoughts out there. Maybe it's just newspaper clickbait. If we get a chance to buy him for 20 to 25 million, do we?
Ooh.
Yeah, tough one, isn't it? Do we have better?
Considering, because I think we're going to be selling Torreira, or he'll go out on another loan. We're going to be selling Guendouzi. Joe Willock will definitely be another loan again. And I just don't think he's at the level. I'm trying to think, there's other central midfielders there as well. And El Neni, I know we both love him and appreciate him, but he'll essentially be a squad player going forward. Like, how many central midfielders will we have with those, those sort of mentioned that might be leaving and possibly will be leaving?
You need 4. I mean, you need 4 dedicated holding mids. Actually, I got to coin that. So talking about Guendouzi then? Is it a personality thing, or is it based on talent if we're going to sell him?
I think it's a bit of both. I think he is talented. However, he does run around like a bit of a headless chicken at times. And I do think that kind of disguises the fact that, when he's on the ball, he glides over the pitch, and he's got a great eye for a pass in him. But I think his defensive discipline is piss poor in my opinion. For somebody that's a defensive midfielder, I don't think his full awareness of where he should be on the pitch. If you compare him with Thomas Partey, there's an absolute gap in terms of where to be on the pitch.
I think the best way. I was thinking the best thing to do is to get him back pre-season, have him practice with Partey for a little bit. If Partey's looking behind him, going, "Where the hell are you going?" If Thomas is going, "Seriously, mate, just stay there, just behave yourself." If Thomas is not happy with his positioning, and as we said last time, if there's no natural kind of synergy between the two of them, then I think he goes, because Arteta clearly doesn't like him. There's clearly damage that has been done between either the squad in total or just Arteta. But honestly, he's the opposite of Mo Elneny, isn't he? Mo Elneny knows exactly what his limits are.
Yeah,
I think even Xhaka now, I don't see Xhaka getting out the field as much as he used to. I think he realizes the governor's in town, and Partey's much better than him. And let Thomas not only go up, but also be able to glide back, Vieira like if his positioning's off.
Yeah,
but I think that the Ceballos thing, I think 20 million. I think yes. I mean, the game against Benfica when he was getting destroyed because of the back header and everything else. I mean, it's one game. and we didn't lose. But I think Ceballos is the business, but I think he's getting overshadowed a bit by Partey, which everyone's going to be.
Okay, man, let's do this, because I obviously had it planned to sort of talk about this later on in the show, but let's just fucking go into it. I want to speak about ins and outs. So for me, let's start with the ins. So for me, I think I'm a little bit on the fence with Ceballos. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe more closer to the 15 million mark. That's where I'd be more sort of willing to go for it, but I'm not entirely convinced by him. For me, I think we spoke about this last time on the Patrick Vieira podcast. I think you said that Houssam Aouar is not really a player that we need. I slightly disagree. I think the guy is absolutely different gravy. I think he is somebody that could play in that number 10 role, so he gives you that option. So if we weren't to get Martin Odegaard, I think Houssam Aouar would be an absolutely wonderful alternative. And what I also love about Houssam Aouar, he's not your number 10. He's not traditionally a number 10 player. He's actually a number 8. He would play, and if he was brought in, I think he would play alongside Partey.
Okay.
Imagine those two, like just the dynamic capabilities of, and Houssam Aouar, he's very good defensively as well. The guy's rapid and he can beat the man, and that's, two sort of holding midfielders. I don't know if you call them that, but two holding midfielders, shall we say, that can beat their man and break the lines. Wow, that for me is a scary prospect. And then imagine if you had Odegaard, sort of in that number 10. But what I like about the idea of Houssam Aouar is the fact that you could play him at this sort of number 10 role, and then Xhaka and Partey sort of holding behind them. And for me, that's a wonderful prospect as well.
I don't disagree with anything you said, but he's not coming. If he's not coming, he's not coming, is it? I mean,
how do you? Surely you would have said that about Thomas Partey. Surely.
Thomas Partey, actually, there's a few reasons why I thought Partey was going to happen this summer.
Yeah.
One is because of the release clause in the Spanish league. So there's your money, you're coming.
Yeah, sure.
The fact that Atletico didn't know about it was fantastic. And the fact that he's also, Arsenal's also a huge, huge team in Africa.
Yeah.
Like we are revered in Africa. And I had a pretty strong feeling that certain people on our squad who are of African origin would have probably got in touch. And the fact is, he probably grew up being an Arsenal fan in Ghana, and I think he did. So, but I think with Aouar, though, I think that the Leon president is a real piece of work, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's all about himself in that far. But I don't think Aouar sees us as a club where he wants to sign a big deal and be for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, but what gives me hope on that is the fact that Leon are in an absolutely dire state financially. So if we were to play hardball like we did with Partey, I know the release, I'm not sure if there is a release clause on his contract, but just fucking play hardball and
I'm not sure the French league works like that, but
no.
Are we? I don't know. Are we in a better position financially? I don't know. I think lack of Champions League is going to start to.
Yeah, I think a Juve or a PSG or something would be a much more attractive proposition.
I think Juve, PSG, or Barcelona are nailed on for him.
Yeah.
Let me give you one. Do we sell Lacazette?
Oh, we're going right into that one, are we?
Well, that's tough, isn't it? That's tough one.
Essentially, yes. I know. I'll show you why it's hard to say. I don't know if you can see that, but I've got him on the back of my shirt there.
He's a lovely fellow. I love the bloke.
Yeah.
I think he's a super flat, but and I think he's done a fabulous job. I mean, when Aubameyang couldn't hit the back of the barn door in the autumn, I think he came in and acted like granddad.
Yeah.
He worked with Smith Rowe and Saka and Martinelli, back to goal, number 9. Reliable, scoring penalties, set pieces. I think he's done a fantastic job. And we're also not tied to the whole Wenger, I don't give a contract beyond a year to anyone over 30.
Yeah.
But we're also in that point where he might start to go downhill. My God, if we sell him, we'll sell him to Atletico Madrid and he'll net 20 next year.
Yeah, well, as long as he doesn't go to Chelsea, I'm quite happy with that. But no, with Lacazette, I think it's that I don't know if I'm willing to have him, because we need something new. We need a different option in there. And I think with Arteta, what he likes to do, I don't think is essentially a crossing type of manager. I don't think that's the style that we're going for. But it's definitely a big weapon of Arsenal's strategies at times. You can see when Arsenal play. I mean, I think it was the Tottenham game, and there were a few games where he said, you know, the odds are one of those crosses is going to lead to a goal. I don't let. That's another argument. We'll get into that another day, I'm sure. But if that's obviously a bow to, is that a bow to a string? Another string to Arteta's bow. That's the one. Well, hey, another bullet to Arteta's gun is the one I should have gone for. Then I think we need a different option there. And Lacazette, a 5'9" striker, just isn't the right man. If you're putting crosses in, he isn't the right man to put those, those headers in the back of the net. He's just not the right man to do it. So that's why I'm not sure I'm that inclined to make him a number 3 striker. I don't think he'd be happy to sit as a number 3 striker as well. I'll give you a name. I know I don't.
From Celtic.
No, actually, a lot has changed in a week.
Yeah, I know, so you're pretty high.
Yeah, I was, mate. I was. But there are links to him. He looks pretty much set on going to Leicester now, I think, with the Rodgers connection there.
Oh, let's just take a look at that statement for a minute. He's going to pass up the Arsenal, the grand old lady. He's going to pass us up for Leicester fucking City. Really?
Don't do it to yourself, Si. It's not worth it.
That is so depressing. Well, no, but here's the thing, though. Having grown up on our best players leaving for Barcelona, for Real Madrid, for Juve, all the way back to Liam Brady. Broke my heart when Liam Brady left. But all the way through Henry, etc., etc. I can take that.
Yeah.
Leicester City, seriously, Leicester. That's shocking, isn't it? All right, well, sorry, we'll carry it in.
I think that would be his mistake if he goes, because I don't think Leicester are quite. I know you have a lot of admiration for them. I know we sort of mentioned that in the Patrick Vieira chat, but I just think with Leicester, I think possibly they're sort of challenging for that top 6 spot more regularly, and they'll be in that area, but I don't think they're quite there and thereabouts or taking over the Arsenal empire. I don't think there's no danger of that, and they have to show the consistency. A couple of seasons, in Europe, and one season of winning the title doesn't make you a club quite on the same scale as us. But anyway, the name that has now come to mind, I did like Edouard. I do think he's a great player, and I do think he offers a lot. The only sort of issue I had with him is that he's more or less another Lacazette. He's very similar, very technical on the ball. He comes deep a lot of the time. He's more of a link-up kind of striker. I think what we need is a target striker. I think what we need is somebody tall with a lot of height. And I don't know if you know him, but he's playing for Eintracht Frankfurt at the moment. His name's Andre Silva. I think even Ronaldo said that, Ronaldo's happy when he retires because he's leaving it in the hands of Andre Silva to take over his mantle. He's obviously, he's not a Ronaldo type player. He is your classic sort of number 9 striker. I think he's about 6'2", quite a tall guy, and he's clinical. He's absolutely clinical. Now the sort of price, possibly 30 mil, which is quite a lot. So that makes me wonder a little bit if we'll actually make that happen. But I think we could possibly get him for around 25. And I'd be happy with that. And I think, that's exactly the kind of striker that Arteta identifies. And that's exactly the kind of striker that I think we need.
Yeah, he looks like quite a unit. He looks quite a big boy, big lad, aggressive. Got spots on him. Absolutely, yeah. No, I think tremendous hair too. He's got the sort of comb thing. I honestly, I think Lacazette does slow our play up a little bit. But I do think during our nasty little crisis there in November, December, I think it was very important for him to bind the kids together and be the sort of senior partner there. But yeah, I agree. I do think Lacazette has to go, and I do think we need a different option. But then you made a comment earlier about That's not been a crossing team.
Mm.
Oh my God, with Saka, Suarez, and more importantly, Tierney. I was under the impression that one of the reasons we bought Tierney was exactly.
Oh no. My statement is that we are a crossing team.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. All right, because it seems to me that what we've had a lot of action from either side. As you said, Lacazette hasn't really been able to deliver.
Yeah,
he has not really been able to take advantage of that. He's not fast enough when it comes to beating people, getting away from his defender. I thought actually on Saturday it was Sunday it was a perfect example with that Leicester goal with David Luiz.
Yeah,
what a beautiful move, sending players in and then him dropping out and having for the first time in a game having an out swinging cross. Fantastic stuff, but we need more consistency there. Like that's why I'm so upset about Giroud. Like Giroud is having a real extra part of his career now at Chelsea. And why we got rid of him, I can't even remember actually why we really got rid of him. It just seems like it was just something that worked, and we were going to get some money, and we thought he was done. Of course, he wasn't done. No. This guy, I think he's the all-time leading scorer for France now.
Yeah,
shocking.
Yeah, which it's kind of like makes me stroke my chin a bit because he didn't he fail to score a single goal in the World Cup.
The winning World Cup team,
yeah.
but you know what? But in that French team, though, I mean, that's probably the one place where you can do that.
Oh yeah, with Mbappe in your team,
Griezmann and Mbappe. I mean, he frankly would just get in the way if he tried to,
let's not talk about Mbappe, please. Like the actual, can you imagine actually having him in the team? He could have signed. It was close. Obviously, he goes within that sort of squad of 23 of Ronaldo, Messi, all those players that we could have had. But yeah.
That's just going to drive you crazy looking at that.
Yeah, absolutely. Every team has it as well.
That Wenger possibles list, seriously, mate, that was shocking. So yeah, I've got a few other things I thought about here in terms of going. I think Torreira obviously needs to go. Kolasinac is only on loan, so he's got to definitely go bye-bye somewhere.
Yeah,
I would get rid of Callum Chambers if we can get any value for him whatsoever.
And
I think the places we need. Oh no, here we go. I've got a few. So more time. I want to see Martinelli get a lot more time.
Right. Me too. I think everyone does. I think every Arsenal fan wants that.
Yeah, and I was looking as well. Mavropanos is getting some very good reports from Germany at Stuttgart. I mean, he's someone. And again, we've got to when we bring Saliba back, if he wants to come back. When we bring Saliba back, I saw a stat yesterday that he hasn't actually had no player in the French league has dribbled around him yet. I didn't even know that was. I'm not sure I've seen that stat before, but no one dribbled around him. So I think if we can develop Saliba and Mavropanos and give Martinelli more time, poor old Reece Nelson. I mean, it's time to go.
Yeah,
I don't think he's at the level, and the development of Martinelli and with Pepe waking up, he's got. I'm sure he'd go to Brentford and have a lovely career, but he's got to go somewhere. And I do think strengthening wise, I think we definitely need a new centre mid. And if that's Ceballos, fabulous. We talked about All right, let's on the recording. All right, what is the date? 5th of March. Apparently he's in the bag.
I'm going to be memed, mate. I'm going to be memed.
So I do think, and I've got centre mid, a new number 9, which we just talked about. And we also talked about left back and right back cover.
Yeah.
So I think we're on the same page there.
So do you think we need a centre back then? Another centre back?
No, I don't. I think we've got him.
Let's talk about this a bit because there have been links and they're quite. The thing is, when I see the links, that if this is the way that I sort of judge it and I strategize this, but if I see one link, I bat it off. I don't think there's much to it. If I see 2 or 3 or 4 links, that's where I start paying attention. And now that this has been the case now, the latter has been the case with Ibrahima Konate, centre back at Red Bull Leipzig. Yeah. There seems to be a bit of noise and quite loud noise about the fact that we are in for him. If that is the case, I don't know how that makes me feel because I think with you, I totally agree. I think with Mavropanos and I think with Saliba, we've got great options there. And as well with Konate, he's the same age. He's the same age as those two. So it's one of those that I'm slightly wondering why we're doing that. But
we spent 27 million on Saliba,
yeah,
and we can't eat that money. We just can't. And
no.
I just think that we've got one of the top players, and we haven't spent any time developing him.
No.
And I don't know. I don't understand. I mean, I suppose I do, with hindsight, understand that if Arteta thinks, look, you're not ready, despite your year away, you're only 19 still.
It might be that Luiz is heading out.
Luiz has got another year, I thought.
No, this is his last year. He only signed on for a 1-year deal. So actually, at the end of this season, there's no more. They would have to sit down again and negotiate another contract.
Fair enough. But I actually think Luiz has enormous value to be just like Lacazette in the autumn with the young boys. I think Luiz has that mentor role. I would try and keep him around. But Saliba, I mean, for God's sake, this boy, I mean, he's going to spend 2 years away on loan. He's got to be developed, and he's got to be with the U23s the moment he comes back, and he's got to work with the first team squad. He's just got to play. I mean, the League Cup, for God's sake, something. I mean, between Gabriel, Mari, and Saliba, we've got 3 very smooth, very gifted.
Yeah.
Some left, some right, good on the ball, can distribute. If we throw Rob Holding in there as well as that gritty northern, English centre back too, who
Steve
now,
Gold.
Exactly. Well, he's now, there you go, Stokes there, yeah. But he's now developed that almost senior status. He's probably 26, 27 now, 28, and he's almost the boss now. And maybe I could see Luis. I could see Arteta saying, "I'm going to sort of give you the Luis role moving forward now."
The thing is with Luiz as well, another set of reports, and they were quite frequent, is the fact that Luiz might come back in as a player coach role, almost like John Terry did with Aston Villa. And I think that suits, and I think that would be great. I think that's a great idea, because I completely agree with you. I think his effect in the dressing room, especially with the younger ones, is huge.
He's seen it, done it. I mean, he really has. I mean, he's won. I think he's won the Champions League.
Yeah, he's a winner.
Yeah, he's played X number of times for Brazil. I mean, he has the game. He has the Wolves type game once every 10. But whatever, that's part of the job. But I think Luiz would be great for another year. But Saliba is such an exciting prospect, and it would be such a tragedy if we didn't make something of him, or at least try. I don't feel like we've tried it all yet.
I suppose if we were to, I don't want to say it, and I'm just sort of playing devil's advocate here. If we were to let loose on Saliba, I can kind of justify it with the fact that it wasn't Arteta's pick. Maybe that's where Arteta just wants to have players that he, identifies and sees. But it would be a big waste for me, because the guy, you can see that the guy has a hell of a lot of talent. Maybe he will benefit more from a low move in England. Maybe I think definitely the Premier League. I think if the Championship were to be the case, I think it's a bit of a level too low. But I think in the Premier League, if he were to go to, let's say, a Newcastle, a team like that, I think he could really benefit from that.
Yeah, an exciting kid. I really hope we can do it.
Thank you so much for listening to the Triple F. If you could please drop a like on our Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter, that would be massively appreciated. Hope you're all keeping safe, and thanks again for listening to the Triple F. I don't know how much time you've got to spare. This might take a little bit of time.
Keep going.
That's cool, man. The Kroenke question. Yeah.
Well,
where do we start?
I was quite. I mean, I've got quite a lot of contact with the Kroenke thing here, because KSE is all based up in Denver, about an hour away, and one of my friends worked for the Colorado Mammoth, which is an indoor. You'll love this. It's an indoor lacrosse team, and it's part of the KSE enterprise.
Right.
The guy he used to work for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks, which is our USL team, which is based here in town. They're building a lovely downtown stadium with a view of the mountains. It'll be beautiful. But that's basically Division 2 in the US. He worked for them, and then he got the job working for the Mammoth, and he was so excited because it was KSE. And KSE own the Rapids, they own the Denver Nuggets, they own the Colorado Avalanche, and then of course they own the LA Rams. And we are probably the 7th or the 8th franchise that they own. They actually separate Arsenal women's and men's, so the 7th team that they own, and it looks to me the team that they care the least about. Yeah. Stan has been involved in building the most incredible, the SoFi Stadium in Hollywood Park in LA. Yeah, amazing. If the Super Bowl is going to be there next year, you guys will all see it around the world. It's gorgeous. That's where his energies go. Mm-hmm. They've also just traded for Matt Stafford, the quarterback from Detroit, and so they put a lot of money and investment into the Rams. We are an afterthought. We really are an afterthought. It's kind of cool though, but it was quite nice for a while that when you go to the Rapids up in Denver, the Colorado Rapids, they had a huge Arsenal crest on one of the stands. Yeah, which made you feel a little bit, and it's quite nice that they played here. But Stan's he's not going to invest in us. No, because I think we're still top 10 in terms of the wealthiest clubs, entities in the world. That's fine for him. He's paid his money. We're going to keep getting money from the Premier League TV deal. He's not a football guy. No. I don't know why he would ever get rid of it, because it's not as if we were set up to be the crowning jewel of his empire. Yeah. He wanted a soccer team and he's got one.
So speak about Aliko Dangote. Is there any chance that he might sell to him?
Well, we always, oh God, I hope so.
Oh, mate, that's not the answer I was looking for. That's not the energy I want.
No, I don't. No. Here's it. Let's bring the energy here. Yes, Dangote is going to come in and say, here is the value.
Feeling you're telling me Porky's side.
here is the Kelly Blue Book. Here is the value of the club. Yeah. And then Dangote is going to say, you know what, this is fantastic. We are going to market the crap out of this club in Africa. If he is smart, and he clearly is, we are going to be able to market us as the African supported Premier League team. Mm-hmm. He'll get Kanu in. He'll get all the Laura and all these other players will come back. Henri, but they will all be used to market us, and we'll make money and we'll generate revenue. But the thing is, is Stan going to sell to him? I would normally say if the price is right, of course. The price is going to have to be very right. All right, but I have a good feeling now about Dangote. Though I think that he's the guy who's going to do this because of a labor of love.
Yeah. Here's the $1 million question: has Stan or have KSE ever sold any of their assets before?
You don't want to know the answer.
Oh, no, no. All right, we're in the show there. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I know. It's been wonderful. I don't think they have. I think it's a question of accumulation. I think it's covering a lot of bases. I mean, he's got MLS soccer, American football, hockey, basketball, indoor lacrosse. He's probably got another couple of things. They haven't sold it yet. And he probably doesn't need to, but it's a question of if Dangote really wants it, how aggressive is he going to be? Dangote is going to have to be very, very aggressive.
It's in Dangote's court then.
Yeah, but so the story with Dangote is that he said last year, I'm in the middle of X billion dollars worth of projects around the world. Once these are finished, my focus in 2020, which of course now moved to 21 with COVID, my focus in 21 now is going to be to buy Arsenal. He's actually come out and said it. I'm going to buy this club. Right. And of course, if Kroenke is a smart businessman, which he is, he could stick around and be the accumulator, or he could listen to the offer and watch the price go up. God, if Dangote does it and he starts giving us something, we could be the new Man City. We could be. We could go rise from the ashes like so many phoenixes. Oh, if he could. Oh no! Listen to us. Right? If he could suddenly open up his checkbook.
It's starting to sound more like Newcastle United more and more, aren't we?
Oh God, yeah. So I have a mate who's a Newcastle fan who was giving me all summer about this group, this Saudi group. It's all going to happen. Oh my God. And then it all fell through, and I just did fantastic. Good fun with him. But honestly, if Dangote can invest, we have the stadium, we have the infrastructure, we have the physical plant to make this work, we have the name, we have the fan base. But if we can open up the checkbook, and if we can really put together a team, really, really work on our academy. So like Man City, if the Saudis left today, or the Emirates folks left today, they would be set up because they have an amazing infrastructure. If we could become that would just be fantastic. Because I'm reconciling this, but without that, and with a continued stream of BS from KSE and from Josh Kroenke, we're going to be a very happy, well, in their eyes, they'll be very happy to finish in the Europa League every year.
Yeah. Do you think it's an over-exaggeration to say that Kroenke hasn't spent any money at Arsenal at all?
Yes, they have spent money. They have spent money. They will tell you they spent money on Pepe. They spent money on Partey.
Aubameyang, Lacazette, Ozil.
But it's not at the level. And I think for them, they might be saying, "Well, we've spent this money. What's your problem? Go. There are your ingredients. Go make the omelette."
Yeah.
But it's gone beyond that now.
Yeah.
It's gone beyond that.
And like you were just saying then as well, what you alluded to, it's not at the levels. It's not at the levels that we needed it to be.
No, I mean Leicester are probably outspending us. Oh, Leicester again, but Leicester are outspending us. You know, teams like look at Everton. Look at Everton. I don't know where their money. I don't know if they've been bought by someone.
And that's why they're higher up in the table than us as well.
Someone wealthy and foreign, but you know, you've got Ancelotti there. You're paying Ancelotti a fortune, but he's managed to do it because they're investing well and they're investing in the team. And we should be way beyond this. I mean, it was a horrible period when we were told that we're paying for the Emirates. Our transfer funds are going to be limited. That's fine. We should be beyond that now.
Yeah.
And the time has come for someone who loves the club and who has a history with the club, like a Daniel Levy. Much as, you know, we don't want to talk about them lot down the road.
What are you doing?
Daniel Levy is a fan. And David Gold at West Ham is a fan. And you could argue that, you know, Man City don't have it and the Boston Red Sox group at Liverpool don't have it. But at least they're spending. God, if Dangote for me is this dream, this ethereal figure on the hill. He's a fan and he's stratospherically rich. And if he wants to put those two together and say, right, we're having you, let's go.
Yeah.
400,000 a week, let's go. Come on, pack your bags. And that's the power that we need. But I mean, honestly, I would be so excited to get someone who could potentially, we could look ahead and we could say we can beat Man City, Chelsea on a regular basis and be back in the top four.
Yeah.
I was watching a game from 2000 the other day, Newcastle at home, and they made the point that Arsenal haven't been runners up the last 2 seasons. I'm like, where is that? Where is that? Where is that? Come on! I mean, we used to be so frustrated with Wenger, like, the top four again. Oh, he thinks he won a trophy. The top four, it's as good as a trophy. Yeah, it is. I'll take it.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Not quite the news that I wanted to hear, but
he's a typo. I think he's basically very, very, very careful with his pennies, Kroenke.
Well, you don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell me. Absolutely no. Your thoughts on Edu's technical director?
If he can have, hard to know, but if he can have a strong
too soon.
If he can have a strong working relationship, and he and Arteta can cut out the Sanlehis and the Mislintats
and the Gazideses.
And Gazidis and all of that superstructure that was put in to replace Wenger. If those guys can talk the same language, literally and figuratively, if they can get on the same page, and if they can work out who we need, we can go get them. Fine.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I disagree with any signings we've made.
No.
I think, was Saliba under Edu or was that Sanlehi? Probably was
Sanlehi. I think perhaps Saliba was a Sanlehi signing.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I think between Gabriel and the fact that we pulled the trigger on Partey, tried to get them down in price, smoke screened a little bit with the media with Awar, very quietly got everything in place. That was very well done. Everything in place to suddenly hit the button on Partey and bring him. That was a masterstroke. In fact, we had that clinic. Remember all those photos on Twitter when, like, it's a clinic. It's in Madrid. Oh my God! And he was there getting his medical. That was the most. I was sat right in this chair watching Twitter, keep refreshing it. But the fact that we pulled that business off under the noses of lots of other clubs, I think bears very well. To do what we can do.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to what Troy Deeney said. Do we have the cojones? And I think Edu showed him we definitely have the cojones, and it's great. It's great.
I know it's funny talking about cojones again. Watching some of these old teams, I miss that aura of being feared. I don't mean so much the '94 team or the 2004 and the Invincibles. I don't mean the silky skills of the Perez, and I mean Adams and Bold and Winterburn.
Yeah,
and Vieira and Parler, people were going to eat you alive.
Yeah,
just that feeling of oh crap, Arsenal today.
Yeah.
Not that feeling that Burnley might have of park the bus, nick a goal, they'll break.
Yeah, but I think this is something Arteta is trying to build. Is
absolutely.
You look at the signings that we've made, like Gabriel, a fucking man. I'd be scared of him. Tierney. Not as tall as Gabriel, but I'm still fucking scared of him. Xhaka, Partey, these just men, these beasts. That's, I think Arteta's bringing that physical aspect back to Arsenal, and we're
definitely getting there. And I think Partey is the one that's going to really sum that up for people. I wouldn't mind another Partey type in there. Maybe a combination of Xhaka and Elneny is that, but just the bite. I just want that aura of Arsenal are coming to town, and it's not a question of how how to beat them. You park the bus and then nick one on the break.
Yeah, if like I was mentioning before, those links to that Ibrahima Konate, if they are true, and we could argue whether we actually need another centre back or not, but the guy's 6'5". He'd definitely be bringing steel and physical prowess.
Yeah, I would very much like that, and I do think for next season and going forward, we've got to get the best out of our captain.
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked about that November-December period, and Aubameyang just went missing. If you look at the table right now, if Pete scored another 5 or 6 or 7 goals, and you sprinkle those throughout the Burnley game, the first one, the Burnley game, the Wolves game, the Everton game, and those had been draws or wins, we'd have been in 6th place, and we probably would have been playing a little bit better here. But I do think developing all those young kids again, really giving them time. I mean, again, I've got no problem being in 9th, 10th, 11th as long as it leads somewhere.
I think what gives me a lot of hope over Edu is the fact that I think I saw an article that in the summer that we're actually linked to, or that he's hoping to bring in 6 new players. And I think that's, if there's any truth to that, then that's, that for me, that shows ambition. It shows, that's what we need. And I think it's something, I'm sure you remember these days with Wenger during the transfer windows, we never actually brought in the players that we needed to bring in. It was always, square holes, round pegs. We never actually identified the right players. Whereas now we're doing that. And that's brilliant.
Yeah, there was always the Wenger piece about, are they better than someone we have? And, and someone comes out from injury and, it's like a new signing. Is it really us? And it's like a new signing. But then again, Partey is like a new signing. No, yeah. but I think that the steely targeting of actual players, you're never going to get away from all this BS in the media. But I do think that targeting the right players, I think Gabriel is a perfect example. What he cost us like 26, 27 million, whatever. Yeah. And he just came from Lille again, and just a guy who was ready for a bigger club, and clearly other clubs were swooping around. We got him.
Yeah,
we got him, and he's young. He is a potential captain in the making once his English improves and once he really can settle into the team. But I think he's a potential captain. He's a stud. And I think that he and Partey show massive intent. So, all power to us. I really hope. Who do we have after Burnley? We have Olympiacos. Who's after that?
Who do you think, mate?
Oh, no, it is.
Them lot down the road.
It's in the middle. That's what Arteta was bleeding on about this week, is that we've got to go to Greece. We've got to go to Greece and then come back again. But you know what? I mean, talk about a mediocre North London derby. Right. I mean, this could be the one where Jose finally leaves us, isn't it?
Let's hope so. I'd love to put that fucking nail in the coffin.
Wouldn't that be the best day out for generations? Is the Arsenal beat Tottenham and Jose just resigns on the spot.
Better than winning the league at White Hart Lane.
it would definitely come close. It really would. It really would. But Jose, but that would be a nice romantic image. But we know Jose's MO here. He has one of these 20 million £5 release clauses where if he gets fired, they have to pay him.
Yeah.
That bastard's never walking away. Never walking.
Because he always has these 3-year projects or these 3-year meltdowns, shall we say? And I think, you know, as coronavirus sort of sped that process up.
Yeah, I could see him. Do you remember? You remember a few years ago when United were on tour in the US, and he just went off about Ed Woodward and the management and all of that, and you just thought, oh, here we go. Here comes the start of the process. I don't have the right players. I'm not getting investment. This is big. We have no one. And you thought,
and slagging off his players as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's starting the process towards being fired, and by December, he's £25 million better off. What a swine he really is, and every club falls for it. They all fall for it. Daniel Levy, I bet you, Daniel Levy just thought, I know he's going to do this, but I want him.
Mind you, their couple of last games, they seem to have turned things around. I hate to say it, but
second coming of Gareth Bale.
Yeah, exactly.
Get the statue ready.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
DVDs.
know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love the old Arsenal adage that, you know, every time they beat us, there's a DVD on the streets of Finsbury Park within like 2 hours. Yeah. And then yes. All right, so we got Olympiacos, Spurs, Olympiacos, and then at that point, I really hope that Aubameyang has decided that he's going to play the rest of the season.
Yeah, what do we have after that second Olympiacos game?
That's a good question.
West Ham away.
Oh, the mighty West Ham. See, that's another team that the lad from Celtic might go to. Leicester, West Ham. Leicester, West Ham, Everton, Villa.
These are that game, because I've got a mate that I do the St. Pauli show with, and he's a West Ham fan, so I might get him on for that.
That could be. No, definitely. Let's do that one. That'd be tremendous. Oh dear. Yeah. So I think there's a few players to come in and go out, and I do think that this weekend I really, really want it to be a straightforward game against. I don't want a lot of excitement. I just want a nice 2-0, 3-0, 2-0 at halftime, 3-0 at the end. A couple of goals for Aubameyang. Be nice to see Saka score one.
Sorry, can I just get your predicted lineup for Burnley?
Oh, here we go. Absolutely. Let's think about that. Get some paper. Predicted lineup. Let's have the German in goal.
Yeah.
I personally would like to see Pablo Mari continue, and probably Rob Holding.
Yeah.
If not Mari, then Gabriel, because I think we're going to need some hard tackling, physical centre backs who are going to stick it right up them. What's
your thoughts on Mari playing alongside Gabriel? Because we see two right-footed centre halves play all the time. And this was a bit of a debate we were having on Facebook. I was having in a different Arsenal group. Is why haven't we seen in football two left-footed centre halves? I'm sure it's happened. It must have happened at one point. But like I say, you see two right-footed centre halves play all the time. Why is it that two left-footed ones can't do it?
It depends, honestly. From a coaching point of view, it depends on who you've got playing right back. If you've got a right back who's switched on and who's mobile and can use their left foot to a degree, then they can obviously slide over and help. Yeah. I think it's a fine line. I think it's people trying to overcomplicate things.
Yeah.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
Of course you can. I can't remember in putting together any youth football soccer team, I can't remember having more than one left footer in the entire squad. And we managed to put together teams that were successful. So I think it's left footer, frankly. But what I would do, I'd like to have Gabriel and Holding, Suarez and KT, and then ideally for this game, probably obviously starting Partey and Xhaka, but knowing that if we really if they're starting to be annoying, then we can obviously bring on El Neni. But I do see this as a game where we need two holding mids who are just going to sit and who are just going to create a wall, because then they're not going to come out particularly. But I do want there to be a very safe wall so that we can have the front group play Ober up top, Saka on the right, Odegaard at 10, and I would probably, on current form, you've got to go Pepe, haven't you?
Yeah. So you're not playing Willian then?
Yeah, because he's going to do it for 2 games in a row, isn't he? Yeah. No, I'm not playing Willian. I wouldn't even have Willian on the bench, frankly. I would much rather have Martinelli. So let's talk about the first round of subs on that. I'd want to push, if we were going to sub, if something happened to Saka, I would push Pepe onto the right and I'd have Martinelli on the left. I think we'd have Emil Platt coming on for Odegaard. I just think that's the team. I really like having Partey in there because I do think that he creates, along with whoever he's playing with, he creates that wall where, let's imagine it's 75 minutes in, 0-0, the non-existent crowd's getting frustrated. People are, we're having trouble breaking them down. I can see there being just this nice little ring around the halfway line.
Yeah.
Of having our centre backs and having Partey or Xhaka, making sure that any ball that comes out goes right back in. Just pen them in. Mm-hmm. Because they're gonna have 11 men behind the ball. Yeah. My prediction for the game is that it'll be, if we don't score in the first 20, I think it'll be a slog, but we'll win.
Yeah.
There's nothing like an early goal, nothing like a first 10-minute early goal for our particular team right now, just to settle us down.
Yeah. I can just see us coming out of the gates, to be honest. And I hate to say this, and it'll go against public opinion, but I think Willian will play. I think we have to expect Willian to start. Even I actually think Willian will start.
Saka and Willian playing on the
or Saka or Willian and Pepe, like it was in the Leicester game, and then maybe Aubameyang instead of Lacazette.
I think Saka's going to be champing at the bit.
Yeah, maybe. Willian will at least be on the bench, and what it kind of gives me that I'm not too unhappy about it either. I think if Willian was to feature on the bench or even start, I wouldn't be too displeased with it, just because I think Willian is one of those players, and I think it was the same case for Chelsea, where he's a confidence player. He's a player that needs that confidence and he needs to be in that flow. And I think Arteta identified that. That's why he kept going with him, why he kept, just being resolute with just showing so much patience. The amount of patience Arteta showed in Willian, especially against all the discontent from the Arsenal fans. It's incredible the amount of patience that was shown in him. And I think he's done that because he knows how much of a confidence player Willian is, and when he's in the ascendancy, he's a half decent player. And
there's still a set of photos he's got. He's still got some photos of him on holiday. But I think my two predictions for how the game's going to go: if we score early within the first 10 to 15 minutes, 3-0, walk in the park.
Yeah.
If we don't score early, or if we're not the first to score, nervy 2-1 win.
Right. Okay.
Write that down. Book that. Right.
So I will.
If we score in the first 15 minutes, it'll be 3-0, easy. Walk in the park. If we get someone sent off, everything's gone there. But I think no. Or if we don't score first, or if we don't score in the first half, 2-1 win. Edgy last 5 minutes, but we will win.
I've got one prediction to give you, and I might be turned into a meme for this, and you can hold this against me. And you can laugh at me for it, but I actually think 5-1 away win. I think, I'm that confident about it. I'm that, yeah. I know it's a big one. It's an absolute big one.
I'm not that confident because there's a 1 in there. You're not that confident.
Well, come on. Have you seen our defenders?
Okay. But here's the thought with the 5-1. At what point is the 1 scored? We go down 1-0.
5 minutes, mate. Like, have you seen how early we've conceded?
All right.
Season?
So, Christ, that's
going to be, yeah. I think we're going to go 1-0 down.
No one wants that. No one wants that. Oh, God. Okay, so 5-1. All right. I can honestly, if we score in the first 10 minutes, KT comes off the left flank and smashes one. That would be fantastic, and I think potentially. But it's always with these northern teams, if they go down a goal at a place like Arsenal, where they come with one park in the bus plan in mind, they don't really know what to do. And I think then the floodgates can open. But it's like every when you're coaching a team like that, you work in 5 to 10 minute periods.
Yeah.
Right. So 10 minutes in, you're like, all right, boys, another 10, let's go. And you dig in. And you look at each other, and the confidence level just starts to rise and rise and rise. You can see it in teams. Yeah. So I can see if we don't score, if it's 0-0 on the hour, problems. But no, I'm going with 5-1. It's like, have you got any scorers in mind there? I'm write this one down. What are you going to score?
Okay. Aubameyang. I think Aubameyang to get 2, and then Saka to get 1.
Okay.
I actually think Partey is going to get 1. So that's 4 goals, and my 5th goal. Fuck it, I'm going to go with it anyway. I think Willian. He needs it. It's about bloody time. Come on, Willian.
Will Ian. Yeah. All right. Well, okay, that's good. So, but we're going to go down 1-0.
I don't know if we'll go down 1-0, but I do think we'll concede. I'm not sure when it will be in the game, but I don't know. I've just got a feeling we'll concede. We have a tendency to switch off. And yeah, I think that'll happen.
I would actually love to see one of our big signings be a dedicated, I'm sure we have one, and I'm sure I should know who it is, a dedicated defensive coach, set piece coach.
I know we bought one at the summer. We bought one last summer. It was a Brentford's defensive set piece coach.
Oh, so okay. I was going to say it was a defensive set piece coach.
I think he.
I thought it was. I thought it was attacking corners and free kicks.
I think it was just a set piece coach, and I think he does both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he needs to start bearing fruit, that fella. Whatever we're paying him.
Come on! Did you not see Luis's goal? That's attacking, but yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. Oh, talking about goals, I just that first goal, that Tielemans goal against for Leicester.
Oh, mate.
Are we just going to run? Are we just going to run the other direction? It's like watching 4-year-olds.
Who was at fault for you on that one?
Well, poor Xhaka was the one in the frame who looked like he was at fault because the boy had to run 40 yards. Probably, I don't know. Can you say it was Tierney? It must have been Tierney because it was his side.
People were saying Marie as well.
Yeah, well, actually, yeah. When it's Pablo Murray and Tierney on the left side. So I got to look back at who, but I feel like Tierney wasn't even in the frame.
No.
And poor Xhaka comes over and is yelling and screaming and waving his arms, and nobody moved. And by the time Xhaka realised that we were in trouble, Jesus. But Tielemans is a classic Leicester kind of guy that flies under the radar. He's played 40 times for Belgium.
Yeah.
Leicester got him, and look at him.
Yeah.
What a player. I mean, that's the kind of guy, if he was in a red and white shirt for us, we'd be saying, this kid's the second coming.
Yeah. No, he is a player. Right, my friend. I know time's getting tight, and we've got to wrap things up. I'm sure we'll keep in contact.
All right, so I've got it down 5-1. All right,
and a Willian goal.
Will.I.am. No, wouldn't it be great if Will.I.am scores the final goal?
Oh,
and he starts cartwheeling and he hugs Arteta.
And the Black Eyed Peas song comes out.
Terrified. All right, fellas, this is good. Have a good time. Have good luck on this one. I look forward to seeing it online, and see you on Facebook. And I'm really looking forward to it if we lose that game.
Oh man,
we won't. No one's gonna lose. It's gonna be good.
Yeah,
all right.
Definitely.
All right, fella. Have a good week.
Yeah, you too, man. Take it easy.
See ya. Bye.
There was nothing else at all in the whole world but football.